A fire destroys a family's home on New Year's Eve in Fond du Lac County. NBC 26's Eric Chris has more from the town of Ashford.
It was at about 9 o'clock Sunday morning here in the town of Ashford when a fire got out of control in a matter of minutes. Investigators say the homeowner told them that they noticed flames in their fireplace's flue shooting out. Now, the fire didn't take long to spread through the chimney and engulf the west side of the home. Now, firefighters say upon arrival, they noticed the door on the north side of the home open, allowing powerful winds to fan the fire. And despite the efforts of nearly 100 firefighters, there was little they could do.
I understood that he had the door open on the north side. We all know of the tragedy that happened in New York City last week with leaving the doors open. Obviously, making sure doors are closed behind you is a very important key to controlling a fire before the fire department arrives.
The homeowner tells the fire chief that he had just had his chimney swept this fall. Now, currently, the cause of the fire is being investigated while the American Red Cross assists the family in their time of need. In the town of Ashford, I'm Eric Crest with NBC 26.
A garage in Kaukauna is destroyed after this morning. Fire officials say it happened just before 11 on East 7th Street. Crews say it was fully engulfed in flames when they got there. Flames spread to the home, but the fire department was able to limit the damage. 2 people who were inside did get out safely. The Grand Chute Police Department say they found a hit-and-run victim in the road last night. Police say the man they found was on West Lawrence Street near South Lindale Drive at about 9 o'clock. First responders took the man to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. If you do have any information, please go ahead and contact the Grand Chute Police. Well, until it starts the new year, meteorologist Gino Recchia with a look at your first forecast. Gino.
That's right. We had a very chilly start to the new year, and guess what? We got a wind chill advisory with it. Wind chills will be staying anywhere from -20 to -30 degrees overnight tonight. This advisory will continue until noon tomorrow, and that time perhaps seeing a little bit of some warmer weather. Interesting statistic, it was one of the coldest starts to the new year on record for Green Bay. The last time we saw a temperature this cold for a high was back in 1974. The record was -2 back in 1924. So it does show that these types of temperatures are quite abnormal for this time of year. Dropping down into the negatives, but we do have a warm up in store. The full forecast ahead.
All right, thank you so much, Gino. And temperatures did change some plans, so many activities in the Green Bay area. The Titletown Park says they will be closing the Aaron's Hill 46 Below Bistro and ice skating rink. Park leaders wanted to reopen today, but said they'll only do that once the wind chill advisory is lifted. As of now, they hope to be open for normal business hours tomorrow. And NBC 26, of course, your official Packers station. The Packers season came to a close yesterday, so today marked the first day of a long off-season ahead and some changes for the Packers coaching staff and front office. For more on that, we're going to go to Kelly Price. Kelly.
Yes, Mo, after the Packers' first losing season since 2008, busy day in Lambeau today. Defensive coordinator Dom Capers reportedly fired last night, and also breaking just a few minutes ago, the news that Ted Thompson is reportedly transitioning out of his role as the Packers general manager, as reported by Ian Rappaport of NFL Network. Rappaport cited sources when he tweeted, quote, Packers GM Ted Thompson is expected to transition into a new role within the organization. The team will begin a search for a new GM, bombshell, unquote. Bombshell indeed. Rappaport also said there are a few internal candidates such as Brian Gutekunst, Elliot Wolf, and Russ Ball. Earlier today, also reports surfacing that Capers was fired after last night's loss in Detroit after another disappointing season for the Packers defense, which finished 22nd in the NFL. Inside linebackers coach Scott McCurley and defensive line coach Mike Turgovac also have been let go, according to ESPN. This is a developing story, so we'll have more information forthcoming, and we'll have more Packers coverage, including where they land in the 2018 draft later on in sports. Keeping you connected, I'm Kelly Price for NBC 26.
All right, thank you so much, Kelly. Now, covering America now, the question of who or what tipped off the FBI to investigate Russian meddling in the U.S. election apparently started from an Australian diplomat. NBC's Jennifer Johnson has more from Washington.
The New York Times reports the tip that led to the FBI's Russia election investigation originated from an alcohol-fueled meeting in London between Trump campaign advisor George Papadopoulos and an Australian diplomat. In May 2016, Papadopoulos reportedly told Alexander Downer that Russia had thousands of emails that would embarrass Hillary Clinton. When they were leaked, Australia tipped off the FBI.
When Australia, which is one of America's top intelligence partners, calls the FBI, you know they're going to take it seriously. So I think this is a big deal.
Again last week, President Trump blamed the FBI's investigation on what he called a bogus dossier from the Clinton campaign. The Times report, citing 4 anonymous current and former U.S. and foreign officials, says it's unclear if Papadopoulos shared the Clinton email information with the Trump campaign.
When you really uncover the data and the information, you'll find that the president was nowhere near the Russians as it related to the campaign, the election, or anything thereof.
The White House responds that it is continuing to cooperate with the special counsel.
2018, this investigation will go forward. It will be an investigation conducted without political influence, and the president needs to focus on his day job. I need to focus on being a senator, and we all need to let Mr. Mueller do his job.
The president has repeatedly said he wants this probe wrapped up soon. Jennifer Johnson, NBC News, Washington.
And the new year brings new hope for transgender people want to join the military. The Defense Department has taken steps to get transgender recruits into ranks as soon as today. But those who do join know the legal road facing them ahead is going to be tough. President Trump announced a transgender ban in August, but it hasn't taken into effect just yet. Last month, a federal judge did block the ban. Covering the world now, as violent protests push into a 4th day in Iran, a leader from the nation ordering judges to take stronger action. At least 12 people have been killed so far in the ongoing protests, and protesters have tried to take over police stations and military bases. 2 demonstrators, though, were killed during a protest in the western Iran yesterday. This protest began last Thursday in Mashhad over economic issues and have since expanded to several cities. Hundreds of people have also been arrested. Costa Rica's government says a plane carrying 10 U.S. citizens and 2 local crew members crashed into a wooded area on Sunday, killing all on board. According to local firefighters, workers discovered the burning wreckage. A family in the suburbs of New York said 5 of the dead Americans were relatives who were on vacation. A direction of the Costa Rica Civil Aviation said the Nature Air charter flight took off just after noon on Sunday. He added that the cause was under investigation. And covering Wisconsin now, Harley-Davidson refocusing on teaching people how to ride. It's all part of an effort to get more customers. This comes at a time when sales are on the decline, and an aging customer base also contributes to that. They say adding their Riding Academy program to more locations could boost those sales. And Democrats in Wisconsin are trying to appeal more to younger voters in this upcoming election. The average age of the 9 top-tier candidates is 58, and some of them are baby boomers as well. But both young and old candidates say it's the message that matters the most when they make the case to take on Governor Scott Walker in this upcoming election year. And here's a sour dose of reality to start the new year off. Only about 8% of people are able to keep their New Year's resolutions, but there are those who succeed, though. And if you plan to work out more, experts advise starting slowly. Doing too much too fast can lead to injury, and that can completely derail your plans. Doctors also advise most healthy adults get at least 20 minutes of physical activity a day. And the advice to start slowly also applies to you if you're going on a diet. Think about small changes first, like adding 1 piece of fruit to your lunch every day. If you're hoping to cut back on soda, replace just 1 drink a day with water, then just go from there. And some families in northeast Wisconsin started the year by welcoming a newborn. The first baby of the new year for HSH St. Vincent was born at 12:05 this morning. Ezra Cade Vandenbush weighed 8 pounds, 6 ounces, and was 20 1/4 ounces long. He was the firstborn for the hospital. Congratulations to the new parents and Happy New Year to the family. And still ahead on NBC 26 live at 6. Despite these freezing and bitterly cold temperatures, some people were brave enough to take a dip. Plus, how about some indoor sports for this weather? The Harlem Globetrotters here. Stay tuned tonight after the break.
You're connected to NBC 26 News at 6 with Stacey Engebretson, John Erickson, Chief Meteorologist Cameron Moreland, and Sports Director Charlie Sakaitis. NBC 26 News at 6, keeping you connected. And now, your Storm Shield forecast from NBC 26.
Another cold but sunny day across northeast Wisconsin, but guess what? It's going to get even colder once again tonight. And also, we're on a new month, so let's just jump back and take a look at how December played out. We saw a temperature of 61 degrees back in the beginning of the month. Quite warm, but completely drastic difference towards the end of the month. Minus 15 was the coldest temperature for the month of December. 13.1 inches of snowfall. The majority of that occurred on December 13th, where we had over 7 inches of it. And also interesting to note, it was really the last week and a half to 2 weeks that really brought the temperatures down, the average temperatures for the month, down almost 3 degrees from our average. And that brings us to the 33rd coldest December on record, and that goes to date back to 1886, over 132 years of records. Yes, another wind chill advisory in effect for all of the state, excluding up towards the UP of Michigan. They do not have a wind chill advisory, but don't worry, they will be seeing cold wind chills, needless to say. Temperatures right now, lots of goose eggs out there, and those values will slowly trickle down well below the 0 degree mark overnight tonight. But with these winds coming in at about 5 to 15 miles per hour, we are seeing those wind chills anywhere from minus 10 to minus 20 degrees. And with those wind chills likely to increase even worse between minus 20 to minus 30 degrees overnight tonight. Really, that cold air mass all across the upper Midwest, a very tight grasp. We have wind chill advisories all the way from the Canadian border down southward towards the Ohio River Valley, even some wind chill warnings in effect, where some folks down in Illinois and Iowa have been seeing values as cold as minus 40 degrees this morning. What a great start to the new year, right? In terms of what we're anticipating tonight, we'll start to see a little bit of some improvement, but not tonight. Minus 20 to minus 30 degree wind chills. But by tomorrow afternoon, starting to see the values creep up closer to 0 and then holding steady for that time being, because winds are going to be out of the west anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. So yes, it will be breezy. The next storm system is coming in from the northwest, a low pressure, very moisture deprived. We're only talking about a dusting of snowfall, really at most. Some of us might just see flurries tomorrow as this storm quickly comes right through. Very moisture deprived cold front now behind it. Yes, another Arctic air mass moving right through here, and we're talking about more sub-zero wind chills perhaps Thursday and Friday, but the weekend does look to be warming up just a tad. For tonight, minus 5 for our overnight low. Winds out of the west and southwest 10 to 15 miles per hour. So that will make those wind chills between minus 20 to minus 30. For tomorrow, a little bit of some sun early on, but then the clouds increase with that storm passing through. Some flurries, maybe a passing snow shower, high of 13. Wind chills between minus 10 to minus 20 degrees. More sunshine Wednesday through Friday, but you see those temperatures in terms of highs. 8 on Thursday, 4 on Friday. A very chilly end to the work week, but we start to change the book around. 28 for Sunday, not too bad, and also 24 on Monday. Now the storm system, we have another one coming in here on Saturday into Sunday. A lot of differences exactly in the timing, the amount of moisture with it. We'll have to fine tune it as we get closer in time, So for the time being, just keeping a little cautious, just let folks know there might be some accumulation snowfall, but I don't think it's any major snowstorm in the horizon.
Now, even though we do have to bundle up, I saw some 20s in there, so it's a little bit on the increase.
I was telling you, we'll eventually see that warm up started to come our way. We just have to hold on tight for the next few days.
I just hope it keeps going up.
Yeah, same here.
All right, thank you so much, Gino. We still have NBC 26 live at 6. Despite these freezing and bitterly cold temperatures, some people were brave enough to take a dip. Plus, how about some indoor sports of this weather? The Harlem Globetrotters here. Stay tuned right after the break. It's a New Year's tradition that makes most of us want to bundle up, but earlier today, hundreds of people dressed down to their swimsuits for the annual polar bear plunge. NBC 26's Matt Jarko has the story.
Well, the temperature out here is in single digits. The wind chill is even lower than that. So the waters of Lake Michigan at about 32 degrees probably felt pretty balmy, and maybe that's why more than 200 people braved these cold conditions to get into that water for the annual polar plunge this year. A year with some of the coldest air temperatures in the 32 years of this event. We spoke with the founder of this polar plunge. For a few years, it was just him making the dip into the water. Now hundreds of people are joining him. He says he's thankful to see the event continue to thrive year after year.
To see it grow to this, certainly I have an element of pride and an element of awe. I know it's fun for me. When I'm done, it's an invigorating feeling, a sense of perseverance.
And participants say going into the water is a great way to ring in the new year. Some say it's exhilarating, others say it's a way to feel alive, and others still say it just makes them cold. A lot of brave souls taking on the polar plunge today, and a great job for everybody who participated. On the shores of Lake Michigan, Matt Jarko, NBC 26.
All right, thanks, Matt. Hey, you got to give him credit, though. And a very New Year's resolution that's common is hitting the gym, getting back in shape, starting the new year off with a healthy lifestyle. Well, there's another opportunity to do just that. The YMCA opened up in a location in downtown Oshkosh. Today was a New Year's Day community open house where people got to check out the new gigs. YMCA workers say the new add-ons are convenient for the community.
Instead of just having one aerobic studio, we have 4. So you can have like 4 classes going on at the same time instead of one. The pool is it's a new pool. It's a lot more efficient.
And for people who did sign up today, there was no joiner fee. And the Harlem Globetrotters stopped by in Oshkosh. It's part of their 2018 World Tour. They took on the Washington Generals, which is a revamped team trying to snap a 47-year losing streak. And the Packers season might be over, but there's plenty to keep an eye on for this offseason for the Pack. Kelly Price talks draft picks coming up next in sports.